Hello everyone, my name is Ben. Today we're going to be talking about Antonio Brown. Some questions we'll be asking in today's video are, who is Antonio Brown? Does Antonio Brown have CTE? And what is CTE? We will also be going over why I think Antonio Brown has CTE and evidence that points the other way. When Antonio Brown turned 16 years old, he was kicked out of the house by his stepfather. He had to spend the next 6 months at a friend's house or a cheap motel. He went to school at Miami Norland High School. After his senior year in high school, he was offered a scholarship at Florida International University, but before he could join the team, he got into a fight with a classmate and was kicked off the team. Fortunately, he was offered a spot at Central Michigan University as a walk-on receiver, meaning he didn't get a scholarship or a guaranteed spot on the roster. During college, he performed. He went on to earn a scholarship in just a few weeks. He left college before his senior year to compete in the 2000 NFL Draft. He was selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now that we know a little bit about Antonio Brown, we can ask the main question, does Antonio Brown have CTE? I think Antonio Brown has CTE for a few reasons. Let's talk about what CTE is. What is CTE? Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a progressive brain condition that's thought to be caused by repeated blows to the head and repeated episodes of concussions. It's particularly associated with contact sports such as boxing and American football. Now that we know what we are looking for, we can go back into AB's pro career and look for repeated head trauma.
Roethlisberger from the pocket, middle of the field, incomplete. Personal foul, a flag does come in. Went to the head. Lewis Harris is going to be flagged for this.
Was talking on the sideline the whole time. It seemed like to Vontez Perfect, and yes.
Oh my goodness. Brown is still down.
That's, of course, flagrant.
After Antonio Brown was knocked out, fans can agree he was never the same. During a playoff game a few weeks later, Juju Smith-Schuster delivered a hit on Vontez Perfect that gave him a concussion. Vontez Perfect was the player that knocked out Antonio Brown. In the locker room after the game, you can hear AB saying, "Karma," over and over. This is not very professional, and fans didn't think he was being himself.
I ain't sure. I got straight cash on it.
Also
Karma.
That's not me.
It's called karma.
I apologize for that. And
It's called karma.
with that being said,
It's called karma.
I mean, there was a lot of that happening both ways. It's just one of those nights where
I mean, a lot of guys are going down. Left and right, hitting.
What was your reaction after the hit once you were standing over him?
Man, as soon as I was like, man, I messed up. I messed up. And,
This erratic behavior can be attributed to CTE. One of the symptoms of CTE is erratic behavior and changes in personality. Although CTE can take time for symptoms to develop. According to MayoClinic.org, quote, CTE symptoms don't develop right after a head injury, but experts believe that they might develop over years or decades after repeated head trauma, end quote. After the 2016 playoffs, Antonio Brown created lots of problems off the field. He allegedly threw furniture out of his apartment window, almost hitting a little kid.
You see the furniture landing in the pool, landing on the pool deck, people scrambling.
Item after item, furniture falling at a luxurious hotel and condo, tossed into the pool area as families and sunbathers look up, then run from what's coming down. The man accused of throwing it that April day last year in Sunny Isles, NFL All-Pro and Miami native Antonio Brown.
When the police got there, Mr. Brown was extremely agitated and was being restrained by a trainer.
And look at who was down at the pool as the items dropped, a little boy and others. The near misses spawned an additional suit.
And that other lawsuit that you mentioned was filed by the guardian of a minor child who apparently was on the pool deck and was nearly struck.
That suit was settled out of court.
During Week 17 of the 2018 season, Antonio Brown abruptly left the Steelers due to an off-field issue with Mike Tomlin and was signed by the Raiders. He was eventually kicked off the team for not wearing the proper helmet and disrespecting the head coach. No teams wanted the risk of having Antonio Brown on their team, so he was left a free agent, until Tom Brady and the Patriots gave him a chance. He was later released due to SA allegations. After the 2020 season, Brady announced that he would not be playing for the Patriots the next season. On March 20th, 2020, Tom Brady officially moved to the Bucs. Alongside him, Brady brought former teammate Antonio Brown. At this point, Antonio Brown was regarded as one of the most controversial players ever. Giving him a spot on your roster would be like fumbling the ball on the opposing team's 1-yard line. It's a miscalculation, to say the least. During Week 17 on January 2nd, 2022, the Bucs played the Jets. During this game, Antonio Brown would throw away the chance that he was gifted and leave halfway through the game. Antonio Brown later released a statement saying, quote, "Because of my commitment to the game, I relented to pressure directly from my coach to play injured. Despite the pain, I suited up. The staff injected me with what I now know was a powerful and sometimes dangerous painkiller that the NFLPA has warned against using, and I gave it my all for the team." Later in the statement, he says, quote, "My coach came up to me very upset and shouted, 'What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?' I told him, 'It's my ankle.' He didn't call for medical attention. Instead, he shouted, 'You're done,' while he ran his finger across his throat. I didn't quit. I was cut. I didn't walk away from my brothers. I was thrown out." End quote. This is a fair argument on why he ran off the field mid-game, but does not excuse his dramatic scene he caused.
Antonio Brown, that's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey, and running onto the field. I don't know if that could have been a penalty.
All right, Jen Hale, get after that. We got to find out what's going on there.
She's got to catch him first. It's unbelievable. He's had his issues off the field. Now he's on the field creating an issue. Low pass hauled in and good enough for the first down.
Guys, very odd situation. Antonio Brown boiled over, very upset on the sideline, took off his shoulder pads. Mike Evans, O.J. Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pads, stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field, giving the crowd a peace out sign. I'll let you know when we hear something official on his status.
Thank you, Jen. It may be an Antonio Brown out in Tampa Bay. At some point, enough is enough. Brady, catch inside the 10. Watching the behavior.
In conclusion, we won't truly know if he has CTE or not. You can't diagnose CTE if the person is still alive because you need to have an extensive autopsy. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.